just saw waves. I thought it was just you.
Just me? No, we're both on. Remember,
Okay.
we're a singular wave. Okay, Fabian, count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Idle Talk. That's the regular podcast intro. My intention was to
Is it
be a
mini?
mini,
So, all
but
right.
we're just gonna rock with it. We're just gonna
Oh, okay.
go. That's how the people can distinguish the episodes. But today, I've got my Star Wars hat on.
Dave
It's gonna
Filoni.
be primarily Star
Nando
Wars.
Filoni.
Yeah, Nando Filoni. They used to call me Nando Calrissian. I just want the streets used
Oh,
to
I
call me
get it.
that.
Lando
Yeah,
Calrissian.
you know. So yeah, you see me.
Damn, I don't have a cool name.
You don't got a name like that, you know.
I don't have a cool like Star Wars name.
Yeah. What would your Star Wars name be?
I don't have a cool one. No, my
Nothing
name's...
really rhymes with Fabian.
No.
Darth Fabian? No.
Mm-mm.
That was kind of cringe. I felt
Yeah, I
that in my
know.
soul as I said. Think about one.
Okay, go ahead. But keep going. I'll think about it while you
Think
while
about
you
it. I just need to take a
talk
sip.
about what you were saying. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so today, we're gonna talk about the last couple of Star Wars things that came out, just very briefly. Star
Okay.
Wars Acolyte came out, 2 episodes in. There's only 2 episodes, by the way. By the time you hear this, probably be 4 episodes out.
Can I just get this off my chest?
Yeah, get it off your chest.
I can't stand Star Wars fans
Me
anymore.
neither, bro. I've been trying to tell you that for mad long.
I think as time goes on, I just see how much of like toxic fan base, like babies they are.
Nitpicky.
Yeah, they nitpick everything,
Bro. They're like, why? That's not the right
Everything.
color
Like, yeah,
of that droid.
everything,
back then.
bro. It's like, bro, if you can sit there and like suspend disbelief of the fact that they're space wizards, just shut the fuck up and enjoy the show,
They
dog.
can, bro. They can. They have
It's
to.
ridiculous.
They have to take everything and compare it to the things
But even
in
the
their mind.
but even the things that they compare it to weren't that good.
Elaborate.
Dog, I rewatched the old Star Wars and I'm like, there's no way we're comparing these two things when it comes to like, I don't know. They'd be like, oh, it just doesn't look, the fighting doesn't look like that. And I watched the old fights and I watched the prequel fights and
not
I'm like,
gonna
dude,
lie to you.
what are we talking about?
Some of the prequel fights
Go
are
crazy.
ass.
No, but some of them are so good.
Some of them are so good, but then some of them are just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
But
fuck?
did you watch the original? No, the original trilogy fights are dog shit. I'm
Like,
sorry to break it to y'all. The best fight in that whole trilogy is Darth Vader versus Luke.
It is.
And
It-
even that isn't even that good.
It's not even a fight. It's just like a couple of like jing jing, and then they talk.
Exactly.
They talk for like 15 minutes in between.
And I'm like, there's no way like there has to be like a fog of like nostalgia when it comes to these people, bro, that they cannot see past this. That they're like, no, everything that was made before Disney bought Star Wars was superior. And I just don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
But it's whatever. It's my opinion.
No,
I
I agree.
understand that some people can dislike what I like, but I think people bitch about shit
Nah,
too much.
I mean, I like everything because it's like an addition to something that
Exactly.
that
It's like I like the world.
you know?
Yeah, I love the world.
So even if it's not that good, like Book of Boba Fett, it still contributed a lot of
Exactly.
things.
That's
Especially
exactly how I
leading
feel.
into Mandalorian season 3, leading into Mandalorian season 4 is
Yep.
gonna come out, leading into Ahsoka, some shit from Book of Boba Fett was in there.
Yep.
Obi-Wan Kenobi show led into a lot of these other things too. So you know, I would just appreciate what we're getting,
Yeah, exactly.
instead of
Nothing. Which
Yeah.
when George Lucas had that IP, he was sitting on it for years doing nothing.
doing nothing. He was just chilling.
So I
Because
don't get it.
he wanted to selfishly work on other projects. Because, and I say selfishly in the terms of that's something he wanted to do for himself. He didn't
Yeah.
want to continue Star Wars.
He wanted
didn't
like
want to
start a
flesh
whole.
it out.
He wanted to start like a whole new franchise, basically.
Yeah, he wanted to. He was working on a bunch of other shit that didn't come out, or hasn't come out, or has come out and no one really cared about.
Why hasn't he made anything since he sold off? He can still technically work. He just
Well,
chooses
the
not
reason why he sold off Star Wars, which I was reading into, so I don't really know if this is a fucking cold hard fact, but that he wanted to raise his daughter, and so
I knew
being the fucking head of Star Wars is almost as if like
to. You never had time.
it's like what I would compare it to is being like a professional sport coach or player where you're on the road for a significant
24/7.
amount of time of your life, and then you get a little bit of a break. And I would say the little bit of a break is even like after you're done making the movie or making the shows and then having it premiere.
Yeah.
But you're still gonna be contributing and working on something else
Yeah.
once that's done.
Okay.
So, yeah, I read online somewhere that as I was deep diving into this, that he wanted to raise his daughter, and so, you know,
How old is his daughter now?
I didn't check that. I didn't look that up, but it's been a while. He sold it off when, like 2012.
12, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's been like 10 years.
12 years.
12 years?
12 years. Yeah.
So even if she was like, let's say,
So
5, 6,
6 plus 12, 18.
she's
Come on,
maybe
George.
an adult. I don't know.
Come back. Bring it back. Because his son was in Revenge of the Sith, and his son was
A kid.
a Padawan.
Yeah, he was a kid. Yeah.
So maybe he just felt kind of guilty, like, oh, I didn't get to be there for my son while making fucking the original trilogy and then the prequels. Now,
But I'm sure his son still looks back fondly.
I mean, he
on
was
that
like, "Yo,
time.
I was
That's
fucking
what I'm
Je-
saying, right? Like I was a Jedi. That's cool.
I mean, that is cool, but again,
because
you know,
George Lucas did
being in a cool movie for like 3 minutes, having your
I have a
father
dad.
for a lifetime. I don't know.
I'd be in a movie for 3 minutes. I don't even have a dad anyway. So why the fuck?
That's true, but he had a dad, and it felt like he didn't have a dad.
I get that. Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
your dad was never here. Yo, tell me how. Yo, real quick, let me make it real. It was this interaction I had at work, and I was like, yeah, you look like you come from a two-parent home.
Yeah.
And she's like, I do. Why? And I was like, nah, I could just tell.
Not enough trauma.
Yeah, I'm like, I could just tell.
Not enough trauma.
You don't got any parental issues. I forgot who was with me at work, and then we started dying. I'm like, yeah, you don't look like you've got a worry in the world.
You could tell, yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
I agree with you. You can tell when someone.
I'm like, everything's been going well for you.
Can you tell when someone has no siblings? Because I get that wrong.
I
a
get
lot.
that. I get told I act like I have no siblings.
I thought you were, yeah, like in the last
I
episode.
have no
said.
idea. I had no idea that was a thing.
But back to the Acolyte.
I do feel some type of way about that though. I'm like, I got 2 of them. 2 of them.
I don't.
I'm the
I would have never
oldest.
known.
I'm the
Yeah, but like
oldest.
0 pictures, 0 anything with
That's
families. So
private,
I never
private.
know. You right?
All that's on the internet is my dick and whatever is on here.
Dick is crazy.
You never got one of those like, yo, I'm gonna leak your private photos
Nah.
if you don't send me $200.
No,
Never.
no.
I'm like, this is your first message to me. Can you at least like get a batch from me to then tell me that? You
No.
never gotten like, yo, I hacked your phone and I got all your private photos.
No.
If you don't want me to release this, give me 200 Bitcoin or something.
Even
like
if they
that.
did, I don't have it. I don't think I have dick.
I'd be like,
pics.
post them.
Yeah, do
Post
it
them.
proudly,
Do
bitch.
it. Do it.
Do it.
I really be saying that and they just be stop talking to me. They're like, all right, we're not gonna get him. We're not gonna. He looked like he would
Post him.
cave in a scam, but he didn't. So,
Post them, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
I'm like, tag me.
But back to the Acolyte.
Back to the Acolyte.
Mr. Fernando Filoni.
I like that show. I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie. In the first one,
Yeah.
because I thought it was about to end, and then it was significant amount of time left in the episode. It just felt
I
like
think the
right
first
when
episode
she
was
got
like
captured.
40-some minutes, right?
When she got captured and like put in jail,
One
I'm
of the
like, oh, it's
twins,
about
yeah.
to be over. And then I start dozing off, and then there's more dialogue happening. She's talking to these people in the ship. I'm like, God damn. I just paused it and I went to sleep.
Did you notice that X-23 is in the show? From Logan?
X-23? I have no idea who that is.
The little girl from Logan? Did you ever watch Logan?
I didn't watch Logan.
Oh, well, never mind then.
I don't really be watching superhero shows,
No,
or
no.
movies, unless it's like Infinity War or Endgame.
Oh.
On that kind of magnitude. I mean, Spider-Man movies I watch.
But you liked it.
The Acolyte?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
You liked the characters?
I do like the characters.
All of them besides
I like all of them
Yord.
except that
Yord.
that guy who Yord.
Dreads.
Yeah, the Dread guy. I don't know. He just gives me
The Killmonger dreads
yeah,
that everyone has now.
He gives me the ick of like, this is why Anakin killed all y'all. I'm like, because of you.
He does
Yeah.
kind of give me the ick.
You're the
get it.
reason why.
But on the bright side, he was on that girl's side.
He was.
He was like, nah, I was following her. I was being weird.
He's like, yeah,
And
yeah.
she didn't do it.
I was stalking her. She's good. She's good. No way. She could have done it. I was watching her.
That's what I think that's the only reason I fuck with him so far is just because he stood up for that lady.
My favorite character is a little Padawan, little Jedi, little apprentice.
With the spikes on her head?
Yeah, the little
Yeah,
girl.
that's
The little girl.
X-23.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
I think she's funny. She was like, in the name of the High Republic, you're under arrest. Squeaking as she's saying it.
over the speakers.
I would be like, yo, shut up, and then run away.
I think the guy from Squid Game, Soul.
that guy from Squid Games
He's good. I
he-
like him in it, and I like the little black girl.
I'm
with the
kind of
dreads too.
I'm kind of confused about the Squid Game guy. I don't know if that's how he naturally talks or just
Well,
someone's
yeah,
like sound Asian.
No, he learned
Sound
English for this
Asian.
film.
Oh, did he?
Not
Oh,
film, sorry, the show.
The show?
Yeah.
Because I was kind of
He's
nervous.
just a
that-
native Korean.
Yeah,
speaker,
yeah.
so.
I was just kind of scared that maybe they were like, yo,
Nah.
up your Asian up.
It's just that he just recently learned English. Maybe he'll get better That's how I'm going. But I fuck with it.
I fuck with it too, but I was just worried about that.
Do you like the mystery aspect that they're like going for in this show, where it's like a murder mystery?
Murder
kinda?
mystery.
Where it's like, I mean, we know who the killer is, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I guess
I'm just curious on who the
Sith?
the Sith guy is.
who could it possibly be?
I'm hoping
it's
it's
either
someone brand new.
it's either Plagueis
If we get a
or
live
it's-
action
or
Plagueis,
it's, or it's Shiv Palpatine when he was younger. It's either
but that's
those two.
100 years ago.
But
Palpatine's
that's-
not 100, is he?
Yeah.
Word.
During this time frame,
That means he'd be
it's-
116,
the only
120 at least.
people
of
that would
Revenge of the
like be around, the only Siths that would be around would be Plagueis and then a young Palpatine. That would be the two that in this area, in this time frame. And if they do something else, they do something else. I don't give a shit.
Sith. Nah, I hope they do something else. I hope they do something else, and it's like at the peak
And
where
then again,
Plagueis turns on his.
They could
master.
play us, and because you know how they're trying to like make it seem like the little the main lady that were one of the twins that we're following. I
Yeah.
forget their names.
I don't know their names either.
The evil one that
Light
we're
side
following.
and dark side. That's what we're gonna call
So
them.
the evil one that we're following is the Acolyte, but I really think that
The other one?
this Sith that she's following is the Acolyte. Sorry, the damn
Damn, come on, bro.
Acolyte
Pull it through.
to whoever the current Sith Lord is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the Sith Lord has an apprentice, and I think that apprentice now is training this Acolyte
Mm-hmm.
to take over their apprentice, and then that Acolyte is doing what Count Dooku was doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And was training someone on the low.
Well,
which
if
is
it's
this-
if they're an acolyte, it doesn't count.
that's what I'm saying.
You know, they're like, hey, that's not a Sith, that's an acolyte.
Yeah.
That's an acolyte. Oh, like that's our acolyte. You know,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah,
not
yeah.
mine. Like you know,
That's what,
like,
and that's what I think they're gonna do instead of having to, like you said, introduce or because in canon wise, and everyone's gonna fucking lose their mind about it. It would either have to be Plagueis or Palpatine, and if they do use those characters, you know how the fan base is gonna get, bro.
I hope
So
they do.
They might
I hope
not.
it's Plagueis without a Palpatine yet.
That'd be cool.
I hope it's
It'd be cool.
Plagueis with like trying to find his.
I'm
apprentice.
kind of going towards the fact that you know that shopkeeper kid. I think it's him
The Ezra
underneath the
Miller
mask.
looking kid.
Yeah.
That would be so crazy.
Because you
if
know how
that
like at
was
one
him.
point when she like pinned him, he like throw it back, and I was like, oh, he can fight.
Yeah.
I was like, where did that come from? Because he seemed like a scaredy
Like,
cat the
yeah.
whole episode, and then all of a sudden he like turned it up on her, and I was like, oh.
That would be crazy as fuck.
And then every time
That's
they
like
had
a
to
good
go somewhere, he's like, oh, I got a ship.
yeah.
Pull up.
Pull
we
up.
gonna go assassinate this
like, this
Jedi.
Wookiee
yeah.
guy.
Which, by the way,
That was
that
sick.
was sick.
That was
as
so
much as
sick.
everyone was so pressed about it online.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all just not happy.
That's
with
what I'm
nothing,
saying, bro. I'm like, that's so
What?
cool. They're like, they're not supposed to be Wookiee Jedi's because. And I was
What
like,
about
bro. Gungi.
Gungi, whatever his name is.
Yeah, but Gungi's supposed to be like 1 in a million out of like.
where did the
It's so rare.
1 in a
apparently.
million? What about the million that came before him?
I don't know, man. Just Star Wars trying to complain about everything, bro.
Bro.
Everything. The one thing that I can agree with you guys when it comes to criticism that I've heard about is that the reason I like Andor so much is because Andor felt like it was actually in the Star Wars universe. You know, they're outside. It's very vast. But this feels like it's
Different
a lot
planets,
of sets.
yeah.
Like we're on a set here. We're on a set here. We're on a set
No,
here.
I think the Wookiee planet has a lot of potential.
That's what I'm saying.
I
And
think
it's only 2 episodes. So if they go to Kashyyyk, was it even
I
Kashyyyk?
know it wasn't even Kashyyyk. Or
Whatever the
else.
hell grassy planet they're on, if they show more of that and it doesn't just because right now it seems like everywhere they're going they're in an enclosed set like the shop or the Jedi temple that they're going to assassinate that bar that she went to fight the other
yeah, the
Jedi.
other Jedi.
And it's always so enclosed that I'm like
Nah.
I don't like that we're not like really
Nah,
outside.
I'm gonna give it some leeway.
But I did like seeing Coruscant back then.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was cool as
Coruscant was
shit.
sick. It
yeah.
looked clean, less
yeah,
pollution.
no buildings.
No,
It was all
barely any
lower than the
buildings.
Jedi
Yeah.
temple. So I like seeing that. That's the type of shit that I like. So if they give us more shots like that and more world shots, then I'll bump it.
I'll
even more.
I'll give all the shows some credit because they've taken us in different places than we've ever had before. So like
creativity.
the Disney purchase, all those planets that we fucking visited, like
Some are from like,
trilogy,
comic books.
yeah. Like all the shows, all the planets that we've been on, the Mandalorian, the Boba Fett planets that we got to
Yeah,
go,
Mando, yep.
Obi-Wan show, Andor. We got to see a lot of different planets on Andor. We got to see a fucking prison planet.
Yep.
That was kind of crazy
was
if we
cool
think
as
about
fuck.
it. Rogue One was a post-Disney purchase.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That was a sick-ass movie.
And that's the problem with, and that's what pisses me off about Star Wars fan is that they'll nitpick shit. They'll be like, this one was good. And it's like, so why was that one good if Disney owned it? Because they'll find a reason why it was good.
Like it was that director who
Yep.
did that. I'm like, yo.
And if that same director then gets another film and they don't like it, then they blame Disney or that the director went whoa. And it's like, dude,
like J.J. Abrams.
just,
He
yeah,
did Seven.
I'm like, dog, just fucking say you don't like Star Wars anymore and move on. It's okay.
I think they're holding. They're holding
on, and it's okay. It's like, bro, you outgrew Star Wars.
last straw
it's
that
okay.
they had.
Walk away from the whatever franchise this is. You don't like it anymore.
Just watch the shit you like.
Yeah, I
Just
don't know.
go
It's
back,
like hate watching
watch
shit. I don't get it.
Original trilogy. Have you
A
gone
thousand
back?
times, bro.
Have you gone
Just keep
back and
watching
watched
it.
original trilogy?
Yeah.
I cannot sit through that anymore.
No, I could, but it's
can't.
boring. If you already
It
know,
really is boring.
Once you've already seen all the scenes that are supposed to like grip you, right? Like you're not
Bro.
supposed to know that Darth Vader is his
Bro,
father at first.
that exact moment, bro. I caught myself like that scene's happening. I'm on my fucking phone.
And it's
I'm
because
like-
you already know.
I'm like, oh,
The
yeah.
Obi-Wan dying, you're not supposed to know he's gonna die there,
Like,
but you already know he's gonna die. The Han and Leia kissing, and then
I'm like,
Luke and Leia,
ew.
the love triangle that you're supposed to like be like, oh, I'm rooting for this one and this one. If you already know that they're siblings, you're not
can't.
invested in it
My
anymore.
bad. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was.
And that's the problem. And it's like, dude,
Well, you were
as
cooking,
great as
George.
those films were at the time when they came out, and I'm not gonna discredit them. They were beautiful and they were amazing films. But get over it, dog.
There were
It's
amazing
nostalgia.
films after the first watch. Like,
Yeah.
if it's your first time ever, because that statement still holds true. So I remember watching the original trilogy with my sister when I was bringing her up watching
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars.
And she
then she had
lost it
that.
at
She
the
had that Darth Vader.
moment,
She was
yeah.
like, what? And so I think like when there's TikToks every day that I watch, I scroll over like making my roommate watch episode 4, A New Hope today, and then they're like, oh wow, like what happened to Luke's parents? like if you've never seen it, if you've never been in the
if you
world,
just know of the name, the characters' names,
it's
you
so
don't know. Yeah,
surprising.
for
It's
sure.
it's such a nice like journey,
Mm-hmm.
right? Episodes 4 through 5, 4 through 5 and 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
People watch that. Then you're like, guess what? Luke had parents. Then you jump to fucking episode 1. They're like, oh, he's a slave boy. The saddest part about episode 1, because I really don't remember episode 1 until I went to go see it. Bro, Padme's like, you're a slave? And then Anakin goes, I'm a human being. My name is Anakin. And I was like, yo, that is so sad. Because why did he say that? And Padme didn't mean anything by. She was just asking, like, what? They have slaves here? Like, she was surprised. She was because she's a handmaiden at the time, right?
Yeah.
Which are basically slaves. They're basically servants.
They're servants
to the
yeah,
fucking queen.
To the queen, yeah.
But she was like, you're a slave, and he's like, I'm a human being.
And it's probably because on his planet,
It's
being
natural.
looked at as a slave, and he's like, I'm not just a slave, like I'm a person.
Yeah, literally, a fucking Watto treats him like the illest slave. He's like,
Yep.
yo, hold on, I have guests. Go clean whatever you had to go clean in the back.
Yeah.
And then, yo, that was the most heartbreaking part about episode 1. I was like, God damn.
How many orphans has he made after?
Anakin
though?
really
How
trying
many-
to be a
How many
human.
orphans has he made after, huh?
You know, how many times have the Jedi failed him? I don't know. You know,
And
one
you
one
know,
could say
and that's
there's
what
a
I'm saying
correlation.
about the Acolyte show, right? It shows the hubris of the Jedi, and I love that. It's like you can now understand why they've lost so many times because of how dumb they act, bro.
They really do be acting stupid, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, we got to have a meeting before you could go over there. Like, why didn't you have the meeting when I told you about it a
Yeah.
few hours ago?
When I
Like,
told you that they was targeting this fucking Jedi, and now he's dead, bitch.
They're like, nah, you know, like, fucking Master Fabian had a massage scheduled. We had to wait until
We had a council meeting, but Fabian wasn't at the toilet.
he
and
wasn't
couldn't-
available. He wasn't available, and then lunch was approaching, so we're like, let's postpone it for lunch.
And then Master Yoda had lightsaber teaching class. He couldn't
yeah,
come.
he couldn't come. Like, we couldn't cancel that. The Padawans are really looking forward to it. 'Cause I'm like, why did you have the meeting already? Like, the meeting should have been done. You should have told me, yeah, go.
Yes, I get it, bro. It's so stupid.
I'm like, the Jedi were really political back then,
They're
even
dumb.
without being involved in the Senate. Like,
No,
that.
I mean they're
they're but they're not heavily like
they're
in-
like getting into like
Yeah.
working with them now. Yeah,
I was like, you need permission from who?
the Jedi Council.
Just
I don't know.
go
but
to
that's,
them.
But that's why Soldier was like, I'm not doing that. He's like, I'm not reading all that.
Yeah,
I hung up and
He's
was like, I'm doing it
he's
anyway.
like, I'm gonna still go.
Pretty much.
Man,
The fight scenes are really good in that show.
yes, I do. I would say that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a good in between from like original
The prequels
trilogy
and the original.
prequels. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a
The
good
only ones that I
mix.
could agree that are bad are sequel trilogy fights. The only time that I was like, this is crazy cool
Yeah.
was the Red Praetorian Guard fight, but then if you rewatch it, you see them standing around a lot, and you're like,
just chilling,
damn.
waiting for the cue.
And then you're like, damn.
That's just bad
I
choreography. Though.
Yeah, you're like, damn. If I didn't notice that there's a lot of them sitting here this week, because when I first watched, I was like, this fight is sick.
Like they're waiting their turn to get killed.
Yeah, literally. And then I go back and I rewatch it, and I'm like, damn, they really are just sitting there like waiting to go, and I'm like, no. But this one is good, and I like the fact that back then Jedis really were protectors more than soldiers, right? They will not pick up their weapon unless you draw a weapon.
Word, they don't.
They won't draw their lightsaber unless you draw a weapon, and then I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And half the time when you draw a weapon, they don't even take out the lightsaber because like, my lightsaber is not an equivalent to whatever weapon you have. Like I'm skilled enough to disarm you. And then not even worry about whatever little shit
they
that you got. And they do.
When
How many times she got stopped with the Force? I was like, damn,
when
she
Sol
sucks.
took all her knives and dropped them, I was like, damn, that was so gangster, bro.
She really is bad at fighting.
That's
but
so
it's
gangster.
It's because they fought differently back then. Like, they weren't like Anakin, who's always like, I could disarm you by attacking you first and heavily. Like,
if I hit you a lot, best defense is the best offense for Anakin.
You're gonna get tired. When he was fucking beating Barris with his lightsaber single-handedly, and then the Padawans are watching, and then the Coruscant guard, like the little Jedi guards are like, all right, you got this, gang. And then he picks her up with the Force, slams her into the life tree, and they're like, you're under arrest. Like,
we also got to see Tobin do a giant Force bubble and not speak for a bit. Master Tobin.
Yeah,
the guy
that was
floating.
weird. The only thing that irked me about that scene was his hairline. I was like,
his hairline was
crazy.
I
understand he's an old Jedi master.
Yeah.
I'm like,
why they do my man?
Is that his actual hairline, or did
no, it's a wig. It's
like,
a bad fucking wig.
I'm like, y'all really wanted to sell us on the
show
fact
you
he was
scenes
old.
of him when he was younger, like flashback scenes, and he don't got
and
that
it's
wig.
his regular
and it's his regular hair.
I was like, damn, they did him so dirty. That's what took me out of the scene.
They gave him a dog shit wig. I agree.
I was like, damn. And then he was suicidal. I'm like, that's not the Jedi way.
But that's the point, right? It's supposed to show you that like a lot of these Jedi that are supposed to follow code that really didn't. No. Right? They just pretended to be higher than all, and
even freaking Squid Game guys attached to his Padawan. I'm like
extremely attached, and it's supposed to to be against the rules.
That's the same. That's what Anakin and Ahsoka right there.
Yep,
he's like, she didn't do it, guys. You had to let go of your Padawan. like when fucking Ahsoka and Barris got buried in fucking rocks, tons of rocks in Geonosis, and Barris off his master is like,
shit.
She
it
died.
What it is.
She died. I'll get a new one.
Luminara was like, it is what it is, dog.
She was like, you know what? If
Anakin was like, what's wrong with you, bitch?
If the Force dictates it's her time, it's her time. Anakin's like, what? Rex, get the fucking AT-ATs and start scavenging. Bro, I was crying when Luminara was like, if the Force says it's her time, then I will bid farewell to my Padawan.
That green lady in the Acolyte is also the same race as
Luminara?
And Barris, yeah.
Oh.
That's why she's green and got those markings on her head.
Yeah, she's really
on
green,
her dome.
though. She's like a really, really
she's super green, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of like She-Hulk green.
Yup. That like unrealistic CGI green. I think that's probably what it was. I think they didn't paint her.
You know what I miss?
I think they just CGI'd green on her face.
I miss the random cameos from like other species, like in Star Wars. Because if you see the Senate scenes, you can see ET's people.
Yep.
In like episode 3, I just kind of want to bring that back. I want to bring like a random like.
They do that, but with.
Because I swear, one of the Pirate of the Caribbean like.
Characters? Actors? The
like,
Squid Person?
The Squid Person is in one of the movies somewhere. Or maybe
really?
it was
Davy
a dream.
Jones?
I swear that race of people is in Star Wars somewhere.
I know the ET one is absolutely real. I've seen that 1,000 times.
Maybe I'm having like a fever dream. Or
it might have been. Because I don't think I've ever seen Davy Jones.
Like I wish we just had more of those cameos in Star Wars.
We have cameos for creatures.
Especially because Disney owns shit now.
They could use it.
I'm like, yo, just pull up some IPs and just sneak them in.
They were using races that we barely see, like that little fuzzy guy, the apprentice. By the way, what were they doing with the little black girl that she was like, I see fire? Was it just supposed to scare us? That
that was a flashback to.
No, it wasn't.
That wasn't a flashback.
No, because then the green lady walked in. I thought it was a flashback, and I was like, are we just supposed to see that? Like, was it showing us that like no matter how many years go by, there's always gonna be one kid who just gravitates to the dark side of the Force because that's just how it is?
And why is it always the black people?
That is very true. That is very true. They always make the black people.
The only chill one that uses the dark side is Mace Windu that people like. I'm like, because he uses the dark side for good. I'm like,
but everyone else can't do it.
I'm like, but he's black. And then the girl from the Kenobi show,
Was Black Reva.
She's Black Reva. Now we got the Acolytes characters who are good side, bad
I
side.
forgot they have cool fucking names too.
They do have cool names.
They
I'm
have
so
very
sorry.
Star Wars names, and that's why I like them because a lot of like.
And we're not prepared to tell you.
And I
the
forget them.
names. And then now this I thought that was a flashback. I swear I thought that was a flashback.
No, it was like him training, and then it was like, oh, did you hear that your apprentice is killing people? And he's like, what?
It's like, no way. That can't be her.
So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so racism in Star Wars.
I like the first and second episode. I think
like
it's good,
them
and I
too.
like where they're going. I like the murder mystery. Love the characters besides Eric.
I'm
Killmonger
excited to see
Dread's
the saber whip. I'm
Yes,
excited to see that.
I love the
Because we
sabers.
saw that in Clone Wars, but it wasn't a saber whip. It was like the similar concept, but it was from the slave people.
Yeah.
So speaking of Clone
Oh
Wars,
yeah, on that planet when they was whipping Anakin
and then it took like 20 whips, and then the girl was like, "Oh shit!" He was like, "Yo, he's
I can't wait to see the whip. I can't wait to see that Wookiee fight with a lightsaber. I love the fact that there's yellow lightsabers in canon again.
Yeah,
That's sick to
and
see.
it's so casual to see them.
Yeah. Like
especially back
Yoda
then.
was like, no, and it was yellow. I was like,
Oh,
whoa.
like, what the fuck? And they were using it as a flashlight. He was like, they're
Which
like
is
looking for
so
shit
cool,
with
yeah.
the lightsaber, which is a practical use for the lightsaber. Honestly, I would use. That
I would
shit as
use
a
it
light-
too.
I'd be like, where the fuck is this? Where the fuck is that?
Every second I need to like, meow.
Like, hey guys, have you seen my?
Just to show up that I got one every time.
I got one of these things, but I got my Dave Filoni hat on today for one particular specific reason.
Okay, hit it.
We are in the end of an era. Clone Wars era is officially over.
No.
This past May 4th
Ahsoka
was the last little
movie.
bit of stuff that we got, right? Until that, right?
Okay.
So I kind of want to brainstorm with you.
Okay.
Favorite. I want a live action Clone Wars show. Limited series.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to remake the entire thing. I don't want to have all those episodes just remade, right?
So what arcs do you want?
Boom! I've got my live action Clone War arcs here, my top 5.
That was so
That I'm
fast.
ready to go. This is the arcs that I would use. Each of them were probably 4 episodes, so that's probably the most that we're going to use. So, number 5. It's a very well-balanced list, I think. So, number 5 is the D Squad arc. That is the arc where R2 takes a bunch of droids and that little alien guy.
No.
We get to see Gregor.
Please, no.
I like that arc.
Where he's like a cook
Yeah,
and they change him
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
remind him of what he used to be.
But the whole story though.
I love the story,
Is-
but God, the
but-
droids are so insufferable,
No,
dog.
they're not.
I cannot stand
No,
story with
they're
droids.
not.
Okay, well, go ahead.
It's
go
a
ahead.
well
Pitch
balanced.
it,
It's a
pitch me
well
it.
balanced.
I gotcha.
Okay, because at the end of it,
Gregor.
R2 has to stop the cruiser from crashing into the super secret Republic war meeting.
Okay.
And if it doesn't get stopped, everybody that we know and love is gonna die.
Okay.
And then R2 stops it, and then
R2's a
he
hero.
dies. And then
He's not really
the
dead.
guy calls in, and he's like, "This is General Anakin Skywalker. What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, da da da." He briefs him, lets him know. He's like, "Yeah, but R2 saved us." He's like, "R2?" He's like, "Yeah, but he's dead." And then they go look for R2, and they build up R2 again, and everybody's happy. And it's like a little like high five moment with the droids.
Okay.
I don't know. I think we need more droid stuff. I'm tired of these humans because humans are disappointing me. Okay. I think.
So how would
it's
we do
nice.
this
But that's
practically?
why I put it practically. It makes
So
it's
you-
the
so-
easiest one to make.
Hold on.
Because
So-
they're just droids.
I
It's
know,
just all
but
animated.
they
CGI.
already have they already have the droid like suit for C3 and R2, right?
Yes,
Which means they
yes.
would have to make either little practical droids like them, or use CGI and then try to make them fit with the practical droids that they have.
It could work because it was a droid.
And then who are
only.
you gonna make for Anakin? You gonna make Anakin
Hey, I'm
Anakin?
gonna make Hayden Anakin.
But he has to look a lot younger for that
mean,
arc.
I think we just gotta stop nitpicking about that and just let him look how he looks. I mean, he was
true.
killing it in
And
Ahsoka.
then you gonna pick Tamora Morrison.
He's
to
just
be
gonna wear
Gregor?
the same fit.
But you want Tamora Morrison to be Gregor?
See, I don't mind if he never takes off his helmet and it's just the voice.
It's just the guy's voice?
Yeah, I don't mind if
But,
the clones
but then,
never take
hold
off their
up,
helmet.
how would you ever make that storyline? He's a cook for most of the...
Oh, you're right.
He's a
So
cook.
I'll just cast some guy that looks. You know how the clones are drawn.
Similarly?
You know how they're drawn.
Yeah. They
I
don't
will
look
have
like...
them look like that.
Okay,
Like
fair.
that. Like find somebody who looks like the clones that are animated, and I'm good to go.
Okay.
I'm good to go.
And
Because,
then have them...
because
have the
Hollywood
guy who
has done
voices
worse.
them
Yeah.
Dub them over.
Yeah, exactly. Hollywood has done that a significant amount of time.
Okay.
So it's like Star Wars is not above that.
I'm gonna give that...
That's what's number 5.
I'm gonna give that plot
Number 5.
a 6 out of 10.
That's number 5. But again, I want to get everything
Like a
that I want to
6
capture everything
out
that
of 10 if I want to
encapsulates.
watch this. I'm gonna give that one a
That's
6.
why it's the first few episodes.
Okay,
Fabian.
okay,
That's
okay.
why we start off with that, right? Because it's like it's a different part of the Star Wars Clone Wars animated like verse, right?
Okay.
So my fourth one, we're gonna go right into this. It's gonna be the Onderon arc. So Anakin and Obi-Wan are with the Jedi Council, and they're talking about this planet that has been taken over by the Separatists under a coup. And this is the planet that a young Saw Gerrera lives on.
With his sister.
With his sister.
Oh yeah, I like this one. Okay.
And
I like this arc.
Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka are going to there to train these rebels to liberate their planet without the Republic necessarily being involved. And I think it's a very like fundamental piece of Ahsoka's story. That's because she's on her own. Anakin and Obi-Wan leave her like, all right, you handle
And
this.
someone very important to her.
You're cool. Like train them, be
Dies,
them.
no?
Yeah. And the sister dies, right? And so one of her like, I don't want to say like Ahsoka's ex is there, but
basically
it's like,
her
but they
ex.
have like a thing.
Yeah, it's basically her.
It's a romantic interest, and you're not a Jedi if you don't have a romantic interest. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
that is
part
very
of that's
true.
part of the gig.
That
You know,
is very
Obi-Wan
true.
has Satine, Anakin has fucking
Padme.
and who knows who. Quiddy Mundi has like 9 wives.
Yeah, 8 wives or
Some shit like that. I'm like, so if he could fuck, everybody could fuck.
That's what They were so
Hypocrites.
hypocrites, bro. It's bullshit.
But I think it'll be cool to see a young Saw Gerrera before.
Who would you cast?
Who would I cast? I'm not in charge of casting, Faber. You're in charge. If anything,
What?
I'd make you young Saw Gerrera because you kind of look like him.
No, I don't.
I feel like he would have your hair. If he
He's
was
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, but somebody who look at Forrest Whitaker. I don't think it matters who you cast in that role. I just
Okay.
think the story.
I want the girl who played young Ahsoka to be young Ahsoka.
Obviously,
again. The girl who was in Barbie.
Obviously,
She's good.
obviously, Fabian. If we already have a fucking person
action?
cast there, just
Okay,
keep
okay,
him there,
okay,
Fabian.
okay,
There's
okay.
no
Okay, my
thing
bad.
to change.
We got. How about Rex? Rex is important.
He is, and he doesn't wear clone armor that time. So whoever played Gregor in the last thing,
You gonna keep him in every
shave
every
your
arc.
head. You're the next guy because
Shave your head, dye it blonde. You're Rex now,
you're
Papa.
Rex now, exactly. Because the clones just look like each other.
Yeah.
So if a guy looks like the
makes
guy
sense,
who played
yeah.
Gregor, then that's fine.
And then we gotta find Ahsoka's boyfriend, Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet Ding Dong, maybe.
Honestly, that's not a bad.
That's what I'm
choice.
or
If you want to be in Star Wars and dude, bro, hit my line. I'm casted for this live action Clone Wars show. That's not
like
a
that
bad
arc.
choice.
I like that.
For the
kid. He's a pretty boy, and he
Yeah,
has to
he
learn how
is.
to like fight. And I feel like
He's a
it's
senator,
good,
and his mom got killed.
Uh-huh.
So I think he could play.
That's not his real name. Don't say that.
Timothy?
I don't know his last name. I know his last name. I just can't say it. So I always say some dumb shit.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Chalamet.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you were struggling with Acolyte, struggling with Timothy Chalamet's last name.
Yep.
Okay, the third arc I would
Well,
put
real quick, before we go on, don't you think it would be way too similar to arcs that we've already had in other live action shows?
Yes, but I want it in Clone
Mando
Wars.
when he trains that one village, right?
But I want it in Clone Wars.
Okay, fair.
But this arc is the closest thing to Rogue One, but animated,
Okay, fair.
because it's really nitty gritty. Like they're like in the
Yeah, I
forest.
remember,
They're
yeah.
like
He was
they're-
teaching.
There's
They were teaching him how to fight
beheadings.
like separatists. and
Yeah, like they're beheadings. They take over a tank, knock out the power. The people are at first revolting against them, even though
Yeah.
they're helping them. So it's like a very like it truly is like by the end of that arc, like they get the king back. Even the king's guard, who's guarding the new king, gives up on them and goes and joins these rebels.
Yeah.
Anakin and Obi-Wan have to find a way to help them now that the Count Dooku has dispatched these fucking flying tank droids that just shoot missiles and missiles and missiles, and they're ray shielded. And so now Anakin and Obi-Wan are like, guys, we can't help you. Ahsoka, get out. Obviously, like if you can't help them, if you see it's losing, like get out. That's all Obi-Wan says. And Anakin's like, nah, we gotta find a way to help them. And then Mace Windu's like, I don't know, man. We already did too much for them. We already gave them all these guns.
Yeah.
And then we get to see Hondo, and he
Anaka,
smuggles some rockets to them, which is I like that cameo that he comes in and he's like, ooh, wow. He looks at Saw Gerrera's sister. He's like, ooh, that's a spice I like.
Oh.
So yeah, so he's wilding. Like, Hondo, you're like 1 billion years old. I don't know how old you are, but I know that's not legal. So you better watch out. But I think it's a very like it's from start to finish.
yeah.
It's a very solid story, and I would like to see it because it'll give us a taste again of what Rogue One was.
Okay.
And that was a true Star Wars story because it was nothing but battles, nothing but like even fucking Jen Erso's like, yo, fuck like politics. Like if they build this Death Star,
We blow it up.
we're gonna
We're gonna lose. Yeah.
in submission for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Like if they have that, we got to do something about it. And they're like, "No, we got to talk about it. We got to be," and then fucking,
We gotta vote about it.
yeah, yo, we got to bring it up to the Senate. Like fuck the
Gotta
Senate.
see if we're funding the right things.
Me and my gang gonna come blow that shit up. And then eventually their little heist gets it blown up by Luke Skywalker. So the third arc I would choose, and it's back to that slaver arc, the Zygerian arc. So that's
whip
where,
one?
that's where Anakin,
Gets enslaved.
Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Rex
They make
discover.
Ahsoka like their queen or some shit, right?
No, they
Or am
make
I
Ahsoka
bugging?
a slave. So she
Ah.
pretends to be a slave. But before she even gets to all that, there's a hollow thing found, and it's asking for Obi-Wan's presence. It's like, hey, Obi-Wan, come negotiate, da-da-da. And it's a Zygerian, one of the slave race people. And Anakin takes the holocron and just fucking breaks it.
Did you realize that that Soul's second apprentice in the show is a Zygerian?
Who?
Soul and the Acolyte?
No, I did not.
Squid Game boy.
I did not
Squid
know
Game
that.
man. The one that you were like, I like her because she was yelling on the speaker.
Oh,
She's a Zygerian.
She's Zygerian?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, especially how Zygerians hate Jedis.
Well, she was one.
Because they got rid of their slave empire, which what we learned in this arc. So he's talking to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's getting his ass beat. He's getting fucking his shit rocked the whole episode. And
They take their
Anakin,
weapons, that's why.
yeah, and Anakin and Ahsoka are just like, no, that's the first episode. And they're running around disarming bombs, and they're finding out that Ahsoka's entire species has been uprooted and then sent off to a slave auction. And then that's that part where Obi-Wan gets captured, and then they have to break out. We see Wolf in that episode where they
Love
come
Wolf.
with Plo Koon. They help them get off that prison, that slave prison camp. But I think this is a good chance to kind of establish some like live action relationship stuff with Anakin and Ahsoka, because Ahsoka learns that Anakin was a slave. Anakin hasn't really told anybody about that except the fucking Jedi Council.
And and I think the two actors, like you said, because the way that they interacted in Ahsoka, I think that would be a beautiful scene between the two of them.
Yeah.
Because the way that he was like joking with her, like, "Come on, Snips, it's war," whatever. I feel like that dynamic would work really well with the two of them, like you say.
And Anakin was super serious. As soon as he saw that the guy on the
shift,
holocron, he broke it, and then we hear Darth Vader's theme in the back, and then Obi-Wan is fucking like kind of nervous too. He's like, "Oh, Anakin hasn't been forthcoming about his past, has he? Not." And then Ahsoka's like, "Only that he won't talk about it." And he's like, "As a boy, Anakin and his mother were sold to the Hutt clans." It's so dramatic. Like he's so dramatic about it. He could just be like, "Oh, Anakin was a slave," but it was like, "No, as a boy, Anakin and his mother were sold into slavery by the Hutt clans." And then Ahsoka's like, "Oh," that's all she says. It's like the most somber as "oh." And I could just see that. I could see that on my screen. On this screen that you could barely see any colors.
That's
You
good.
know, I could just see nothing but the darkness on this screen.
It better not be. If they film it, they better not make it.
But
that
I
dark.
think it's a good arc too, because then Anakin, you'll see the flirtatious side of Anakin because he's flirting with the slave queen.
Yep.
Anakin gets to fight Count Dooku in this, and so fuck Count Dooku.
Oh, you gotta recast.
We gotta
him.
recast Count Dooku for some reason. Just
You're
make him
right.
look like the fucking long.
No, don't make him look like that long-faced fuck. No.
We could cut out some scenes.
No, what? You need Dooku.
I know you do need Dooku. So somebody
Just recast him.
Somebody
Some
young,
old dude.
youngish.
No, just some old dude.
I know, but somebody young with like a white like beard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna nitpick. I hope you don't nitpick, but you're gonna nitpick.
Star Wars fans are gonna nitpick. They probably would. They're not even gonna. The moment they release the cast for whoever the hell Dooku is, they're gonna lose their minds.
They're gonna beat his ass.
Yeah.
They're gonna hunt him down. But yeah, that's the third arc I would choose. I think
those
just
are all
the
good arcs so
heavy
far.
heavy themes. You start with the light theme with the droids, then you go into the Saw Gerrera arc. That liberating that planet, and then the slaver arc, and then second one we're just gonna make a big fucking leap.
Surprised that you haven't made one specific one that I've caught.
What is it? What is it?
The arc where they're training the clones on Camino.
Oh, no, that's
I would want that as live action, like Clone
Listen.
99 and him and all of them. I love that.
That's one of
arc.
my honorable mentions, and also the Citadel. The where they have to break out young Tarkin from jail.
Yes.
In that tiny little
Fuck that
scarred
guy.
eye Jedi, they have the codes for this super important.
Yeah, the
hyperspace
short
lane.
one who has like a cane in his sword or whatever.
So that's one of my those are in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
The Domino Squad arc and then the Citadel arc. But the second one that I would go with is the Umbara arc. So Anakin and Rex are pulling up to this planet, and all of a sudden, because Palpatine is the fucking puppet master that he is, he's like, actually, if there's a battle that my fucking future Padawan is gonna fucking die, my future apprentice is gonna die in, it's this. So Anakin, I need you on Coruscant. He pulls out Anakin, but the 501st stay.
I don't remember this arc.
You do remember the guy, the General Grievous Jedi with the four
Plo Koon?
double-bladed lightsabers?
Oh, yeah.
He's voiced,
Pronkel, whatever the hell.
Pronkel, and he's voiced by the guy from The Walking Dead.
That was a great arc.
That we're gonna
I
get
agree.
deep.
That was such a good arc.
The description I put on here to help you remind it is Rex serves under new Jedi General in one of the toughest battles ever witnessed. The environment is your
and they
enemy.
start going up against their own brothers.
The
and
native
shit.
people are your enemies and even your own brothers. Because Ponkrell manipulates the clones into thinking that the enemy took their armor and they're shooting each other, and then they discover that no, you're not shooting each other. You're
it's
shooting,
just a bunch of clones fighting each other.
Which sucks. It's a sad scene, and then Rex has to really draw a sand on the line. And he's like, "Yo, what I'm about to say, we gonna get in trouble."
I like that one scene where he's like, you can't do anything because you're not a commanding officer or something. She's like, I'll go fuck, I'll kill you or something. Like with the clothes, and I'm like, that scene goes crazy.
Oh no, he's like, he's talking down to him, the Jedi.
He's like, I'm your commanding officer.
Yeah,
he's
and
like, I don't give a shit.
He's like, stand down, and he says CT something, and he says his number.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's Captain. He replies back. He was like, all right. I mean, he's a commander, but I'm like, talk your shit, Rex.
I'm saying.
So yeah, I think that wouldn't be good on your TV. You're gonna hate that because it's
It would
so
be
dark.
so dark. Yeah. They would film it so dark.
But then Fives is in it, and then
rip to Fives.
Yeah, RP Fives. So all the 501st clones that we got to know and love, the clones from, I don't know if you remember this arc where Obi-Wan is on there, and there's a little like Felician girl, and the two clones are like with her the whole episode. You remember in Rebels is a girl with
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
with what's her name?
Stuffed animals.
Hera's dad.
Yeah.
In Rebels, and she has two clones on her helmet.
Yeah, and it's because two clones saved her.
Yeah,
when she was a little girl.
one of those clones dies in that arc, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. And he's talking to Rex about it, and I'm like, that's the guy from the girl in Rebels. So he dies. That's where he meets his end on that shitty ass planet. And then for my last arc that I would choose to incorporate into live action, which I think would be a really crucial part, and that's the Obi-Wan undercover arc where they kill him, and everybody knows he's not dead except Anakin. And Anakin is pissed. Anakin is so mad. He's sad. He's devastated. And then Yoda's excuse is because we needed it to look real. Mm-hmm. Your feelings is what would sell to the galaxy that Obi-Wan Kenobi was dead. And I think that's when they shave off his head. They make him look like the bounty hunter, and then he has to stop a plot.
Be in prison with Cad Bane.
Yeah, Cad Bane and Count Dooku's there. And so I
think they're gonna shave Ewan McGregor though.
No, because they
Bald?
they just do that in that one scene where they're shaving his head and Yoda's briefing him on a mission. I think you just don't include that scene and all of a sudden just have him look different. Just have somebody else because Obi-Wan swallows a parasite and it's a voice changer.
It makes him sound different.
Sound exactly like the guy who it was.
Is the bounty hunter.
Yeah, so I think you just cast somebody that's really good at it.
You're right. Yeah, just cast someone else and be like, "This is Obi-Wan."
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's gonna believe it.
And then at the end, have him like
Come
switch
back.
with CGI and then make Ewan come out. Yeah, true.
So I think it was a critical point that proves that.
And you get to see live action Cad Bane not be a bitch again.
That would be cool too.
Because live action Cad Bane got bitched on.
They did bitch him. But then Cad Bane peeps early before Obi-Wan betrays the whole group, and he's like,
"That you're Obi-Wan."
I mean, it was Obi-Wan. It was
no.
Obi-Wan.
I think isn't he the one person that catches on that it's not the bounty hunter that he says he is?
Exactly. Yeah. So he starts when the mission's failing, he's like, I'm about to dip out. But then Dooku bugged fucking Obi-Wan's suitcase, and then he realized it was Obi-Wan because he was talking to fucking the Jedi Council while on setting up his sniper scope, and so I think he got a good chance to escape there. But I think it solidifies the kind of ways the Jedi were thinking at the time.
Yeah.
We really got to win this war, so we got to lie to everybody, even our homies.
Yep.
And then they really manipulated Anakin because
they were doing it forever.
Even Satine was there, and she looked so sad. At Obi-Wan's funeral, and Anakin was just fucking mad. And you have Vader's theme play again, and he was really, really distraught. And even Ahsoka was kind of scared. When Anakin was letting his anger out, she's like, "Yo, chill, dog, relax." And he's like, "Nah, gotta get my lick back. Gotta get my shit back in blood ×2 type shit." So I think those are some of the like more significant stories, even if they don't feel that way.
Yeah.
So that's how I would, if I had to choose 5 arcs, those would be my choices. It's a little bit of everything, and they get a little bit more serious as the limited
like those
series
arcs.
goes on.
Those are all good
And I
ones.
think you got to start with a silly one. You got to start with like the droids. I mean,
Except that one.
you got to start.
That's
You got
the
to
one
start
I'm
with
least
something nice,
excited
but
with.
it's one of the more important ones because if
Yeah,
R2 doesn't
I
do
get
that,
that. Yeah, you're
then
right.
then every single fucking Republic military leader is at
I'm
this
just
meeting,
so sick of the
and then they
droids, bro.
die.
I know, you're right.
But there's some serious moments with the droids when they have to actually fucking fight. But they're little droids. How are they fighting?
That's
You got the
problem.
battle droid shooting at them. They're like, ah.
And they run away.
And
Yeah.
they don't got guns. How
That's
did
what
they
I'm saying.
escape
That's
from
boring.
that? Nah, you just don't like any of the other shit that Star Wars has.
No, I like it. I just don't
You're
like
like,
the
oh,
droids.
politics.
Nah, it's a
I'm
snore,
like, that's
bro.
part of the war.
But I like some of the politics because I like Andor. Andor was good.
Andor did do some politics.
And there was a
really
lot of
well.
politics in that. And yeah, right. It's the one with the white guy being
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
like secret agents," and
He's like, yo,
and
you
he
can't
speaks
tell.
like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
But yeah, that's what I would choose.
If,
And then the Domino Squad.
that's
a
my
good one.
choice. If I had to
I
pick
would
one,
choose
I'd
one.
pick the Domino
I
Squad.
would like to see the young Tarkin arc where
That's a good
Anakin and
one.
Tarkin kind of build a bond.
Yep.
It's like, hey,
And
you're
that's
not
how,
like one of those
That's
stupid
how like Tarkin
Jedi.
realizes way later that Darth Vader
Yeah.
and Anakin are the same person because
I'll
of that.
do that. I would do anything with
I would do
Maul.
the son and father and the that arc
Ooh.
with Ahsoka getting evil and then having
Yeah.
to fight Anakin. I'd do that arc.
That's a good one, and
Live
that, I
action.
only would replace. I would replace, the Zygerian arc with that if I had to, because I feel like that
That's
one's-
very
that-
important
That's a
between the
niche
two of
one
them.
too, though. I feel like if it's a casual, someone's gonna come in and watch that, they're like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I feel like that's too Star Wars, you know, too Star. That's why I put it in the middle. I
guess
feel like
you're right.
the
People are-
casual
they'd be like,
people
"What the
would-
fuck is all
would be
this
like,
God
It's
shit?"
the R2D2 guy. And then,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
I guess
we'll get the
you're right.
first good ratings for that. But yeah, I would replace the Zygerian arc with that. But I think the Zygerian arc's important too.
I would do Siege of Mandalore live action just because I want to see Darth Maul and Ahsoka
No,
fight live action.
I would do the entire Mandalore thing in its own thing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I would do like maybe I'm just tired of Star Wars shit being like 8 to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be more episodes. Disney
I
need to
agree.
start making shit longer.
It's expensive.
It is
And they're
expensive.
cheap as shit.
It is expensive. But I would have
For
I
the
would
amount
have
of money
that.
that Disney makes, they shouldn't be as cheap as they are, bro.
that's true. Have you been
They
seeing
make
these
billions of
these,
fucking
these
dollars.
TikToks for Disneyland? The
They-
Star Wars shit?
The ticket prices go stupid.
They're like, yo, we're spending like $4,000 for
a day.
the days that we were here.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy.
So I don't know. I don't know why they cheap out on a lot of shit like that. Because I agree, they should have more episodes and more sets.
Nah,
and
low
shit.
key, people are shitting on Star Wars. I feel like Star Wars helps pay for a lot of things. A lot of shit that
And-
Disney's doing,
Yeah, it does.
I feel like Star Wars is paying for a lot of shit.
But also Marvel. Marvel makes a lot of their
That's
money.
true. That's true.
And
I
their
agree.
parks. Their 2 parks. Oh my god, they probably make bank
But I'm
with
saying,
those parks.
like those parks that have those IP specific things.
yeah.
I'm like, y'all can hate on Marvel, say it sucks. Y'all can hate on Star Wars, say it sucks. But that shit's paying for the shit that.
That's why they keep making shows and stuff. 'Cause
Other
if they
random
keep, If they
shit.
keep the IP alive, even if no one likes it, there's gonna like. As much as I don't like this, or as much as people don't like the sequel trilogy, there's some people that are younger than me that are obsessed with that stuff because
Yeah.
that's what they grew up with.
like yo BB-8.
And
yeah,
I'm not
BB-8
gonna take that
toys.
away from them because when I grew
Like,
up with
that
the
was me.
prequels, I loved the prequels, and everyone around me hated them, and I was like, dude, they're so good.
Boom.
So I don't shit on them, and I get it. And as long as I keep pumping stuff out, there's gonna be always be kids that are like, I want to be a Jedi, I want to be a bounty hunter, I want to be a Sith, and
And
as
now
long
you
as
can
keep
be.
'em- yeah,
You
and
can be
that's
at-
the point
at
of the
Star
at the
Wars
parks.
World,
And
because they give you
if
some robes.
Listen, I don't believe in charging the fucking price that that's ridiculous. But if your family can afford it without going in debt, and that's what you want to give your child, go for it.
Yeah, if you can
But
go
if you're doing it if you're doing it like a dumbass and you're bringing out like loans and house mortgages just to go to Disney World, just don't go. It's not for you, and that's okay.
Don't go. And Disney, make it more affordable. Please.
Yes, please, cause damn, my
Yo,
nigga, they be doing
Yo,
it like crazy.
You gotta accept EBT there or something, bro.
do-
You gotta
they do it dirty.
You gotta lower the
It'd be like
burden.
water bottle, $12.
50 cents.
I'm like,
it'd be
what?
$12.49. You don't got a penny? Too bad. We only accept exact change. So now you got to pay the 51-cent upgrade to get a little koozie.
Pass.
Yeah.
The pass for the you need the water bottle pass.
yeah.
Then you get free refill.
Yo. Well, that's all I had. I just wanted to talk about my live action.
I gotcha. I'm gonna
Star
give you
Wars
some of
idea.
my arcs now. Then.
Okay,
How
so
are we going?
you've got.
Well,
you got a few?
I have a few.
Okay.
I said the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a few more.
Okay. No, you said the 1.
I said 2.
Which one did you say?
Siege of Mandalore.
Okay. Yeah.
I would
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and
then
if it was my show, the what was that arc with the clones?
Domino Squad.
Domino Squad.
When they're getting together.
Yeah, where they're training together.
Camino.
Yeah.
We need to see Camino again. That'd be sick.
I would do the arc with young Boba Fett, and he has like Asajj as a bounty hunter, and they're like doing stuff together. I would do something with them just so that you could. I want to see live action Asajj, live action Baby Boba, maybe. The lizard man would be really cool to see. Whatever Bosk. That's it. I was like, what the fuck's his name? The lady with the ponytail.
Yeah.
As a sniper, she looks cool.
She's cool.
The guy with the hat and that dog.
Yeah,
I want to see him live action.
He be using this shit as like Captain America shit.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, that guy.
I do an arc with them. See them in live action.
I don't know how Dave wears
Would
this
you
shit.
would you
I'm
do?
sweating.
I would do a Bad Batch
Really?
live action.
Live
Yeah,
action that was I saw that in the list of arcs, and I was like, I don't think I want to see that.
I want to see it. Like season 1, like before they broke up, and like when.
No, it would have to be from the Clone Wars, like the shit that we
but
saw.
that's, no, I would say I
it
want
has
to
to be
see.
from the
I
Clone
want to
Wars.
see them before they were introduced.
But we didn't see that in the
season
Clone
7.
Wars.
I know, but that's what I want to see.
Nah,
that.
you got to choose it from the Clone Wars batch of arcs that we got already. It's not making up your own.
I thought that's what we were doing.
Nah, we just copying and pasting.
Okay.
It's the shit that you want to see from that shit that was animated in live action. If you had to choose 5,
And then the Siege of Mandalore.
That's it.
Not,
You already
sorry,
said that.
No, not Mandalore. Dathomir, like where
Oh,
Grievous
when
and
Grievous-
Dooku pull up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
start murking people.
I was killing everybody.
Or can I do the animated, like OG 2D animation, or that don't count?
No, you can.
Because then I do Asajj versus Anakin, like where he got his
live
scar.
action? Oh, that'd be good.
I do that, the introduction of Asajj, and like get someone else to be Anakin, because I feel like that's way too young for him to play that character. And same for Ahsoka. I feel like it'd be 2 really young characters, and you'd see him basically be a teenager fighting.
Yeah,
and
but Ahsoka
earning.
wasn't even there.
Sorry, Asajj, not Ahsoka.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what
Because
does she
that's the
have
first
to
time we get introduced to Asajj Ventress, and like she's the apprentice of Dooku and whatever.
She
and
got
then
2 lightsabers.
Yeah, and then she fights Anakin, gives him his iconic
Scar.
eye scar, and because he like held her back or defeated her, that's when he gets promoted from a Padawan to a knight, and then Yoda cuts off his braid. I would love to see that live action because we never got to see it. He just went from a Padawan to a knight
That's
in the
actually
movies.
cool. That's actually a good arc. I like
If
that.
if you allow that,
I don't love
I'd
that.
pick
I'm like, that's good. I'm like, yo, if you
I'll
want
pick that.
to flip the script, sure. But this is the one. I chose things from like the shit.
And
that
if
we
not
saw.
that one, I'd pick the one where we just follow the clones and they're fucking badass.
Oh, and this Mad Silent.
Yeah.
It's
It's just them doing action shit. I would love that.
That would be cool. Tale of the Clones. That could be the Tale of the Clones.
I would. So those are the ones I'd pick.
They're like,
Yeah, they are so cool in that fucking episode, bro. And then you could also introduce that big slimy nigga, who was the main villain in that episode. That like Obi-Wan has to fight at the end.
yeah, and he blows him up, and they got,
And he
he's
keeps
like
recharging.
Recharging, yeah.
Or
That was a scary
regenerating.
guy.
Yeah.
Because
He's a
why was
bounty
he?
hunter.
Why was he built like that?
Oh, you fight one of them in Jedi Survivor.
Oh, really?
You
One of those
fight
same
his
exact
race.
guys?
Yeah, and you slice him up and he grows limbs and stuff. It's so cool.
That's kind of scary. I
You
won't
should
lie.
play that game, bro. I don't know
I'm
why
not trying
you
to pay
have
for
it.
that. I'm not trying to pay
Yo,
that money.
game share. I got you.
Bro, I got an Xbox. You know this.
Oh,
I
ew.
got an Xbox.
Eba.
Actually, I think I have the first one for free
Okay.
from Game Pass.
It's okay. That one's okay. The second one is
I
literally
got the
so much
first
more
one
fun.
for free from the Epic Games
But the
Store,
second
too.
one was free. Oh, PlayStation Plus. I was about
Oh,
to
that's
say.
on
But
PS
you
Plus?
don't have
I mean, hey,
Xbox
I'll get a PS something.
eventually.
I don't know. I'm tired of
And if
Sony.
they ever please live action Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order, just bring that man in. He's
yeah,
already
he's
an
already
actor.
alive. You already took
He's
his face.
already an actor. He's really good.
I
Please just
actually
bring
would
him
like
in.
that. I would like a movie.
Do something with him, because God, is that the story in that game is so good. And the fact that so many Star Wars fans just don't experience it because they're too lazy to play the game.
Me, I didn't even watch it on YouTube.
And even like, dude, that game makes you feel so fucking cool. Like you feel like such a G when you have like the lightsaber and you can
Well,
like
yeah, now we're running
once you
into
get
the-
really good at the combat, you feel like the people in the Acolyte where you're like pow pow dodging and parrying and shooting, and it's so cool.
But I heard as one of the critiques of like Now we're running into fucking Galen Merrick territory. We're like, oh, we can't bring him ever into the story because he's a master of all these forms. He
That
got
is
all
true.
these
He is,
lightsabers.
that is true. He is kind of OP now, but it is like game mechanics of like canonically. I think he's just
A regular
single bladed and
Jedi.
double bladed lightsaber. But in the game, you use like
And he uses
every.
guns. Pow.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
canon now that he uses guns. And I think the only like force power that's like OP as hell that he uses in the game is like force stop, where like, he stops time.
That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. But it's a video game,
Yeah,
and this is a simulation. And
and
this
it's Star Wars.
was
Suspense your disbelief.
Bluff.
Bluff.
I thought we were about to end it so smoothly, favorite, and then you go this bluff.
You go ahead, end it.
All right, this was Idle Talk. This is simulation. This is Star Wars. We will see you on the next one. And I know the people that don't want to listen to us talk about Star Wars, but we're passionate. This is from my TikTok homies that be that be running up the likes about Star Wars content
fans,
that we
yeah.
post sometimes. So this for them.
Appreciate
So we'll
y'all
see you
always.
on the next one. I'm gonna take off this hot ass hat, and then we're gonna lock in and reload. Peace. Love, joy.